welcome. I have with me today Mr. Himanshu Kapania, the MD and Chief Executive Officer of Cellular. Lot of action as far as the spectrum auctions are concerned in the telecom space. So this interview is very timely. Thank you so much, Mr. Kapania, for speaking to CNBC-TV18. To begin with, you've spent around 30,306 crore rupees. I believe the upfront payment, if you do the math, is around 7,700 crore rupees. Would this be before March 31st, as the government has asked? And what would the exact impact be in the immediate quarter, that is in the quarter ending March, as far as the balance sheet impact is concerned?
Thank you so much, Kritika. And we are very happy to share the outcome of the spectrum auction. You're absolutely right. The company is delighted, in spite of multiple speculations over the last 1 year, to have managed continuity of services for our 9 key leadership markets, covering over 73% of our revenues. We have managed to acquire, subject to final approval by Supreme Court, 79.4 megahertz of spectrum, and out of that 54 megahertz of spectrum is in the 900 megahertz space. And you're right, there is the total payment is of the order of around 30,100 crores as per our calculations. And we are going to avail of government benefit of installment schemes, and we are going to pay, likely payment is in the order of 7,700 crores. The timing of payments has still not been decided, and we will share with the investors once we are ready to share the specific timings.
Okay, so it's not confirmed that it would be before March 31st yet.
As regards what impact would have, I'd like to remind all our viewers that this is primarily the investments are for renewal of our spectrum. And the spectrum, while the payment is being made quite early, the spectrum is due for renewal in for 7 out of 9 circles in December of 2015, and for remaining 2 circles for April of 2016. So the interest component would be capitalized, and no amortization will start until the spectrum renewal and the license renewal process starts.
Okay, so the amortization on the spectrum charges and the interest on borrowings will not impact in that case till the renewal starts. What is the timeline for that?
Primarily, you can say that for 7 circles, impact will be only in quarter 4 of FY16, and 2 circles it will be impact of in FY17. We'll also remind all viewers that last auction in March of 2014, the company had spent about 10,000 plus crores, out of which we have amortized now daily spectrum, which we just launched our services, as well as spectrum on 1800 we're going to use for GSM, but over 3,500 crores worth of spectrum for 4G will not be the amortization will not start, because we intend to start services much later.
Okay, so what would the exact impact be? By Q4 you're saying it would get impacted. What is the exact impact as far as interest and amortization would go?
So I think it's we are still doing the calculations,
okay,
and next earning call we will be able to share a lot more specific details.
Okay, fair enough. So you know, the big concern that your investors, all telecom stocks have of course seen an impact due to the increase in debt, which is natural. The estimated increase in debt according to analysts is around 70%. So the net debt to EBITDA ratio is expected to go up from around 1.1. The estimation is anywhere between 3.5 to 4 times. What are the numbers that you're working with right now, and by when will the impact on EBITDA and the increase in the net debt to EBITDA ratio go up?
You are absolutely right. By the end of last calendar year, Idea's net debt was at 11,000 crores level, and we're going to add 30,000 crores most likely by the end of next financial year, and they would be with this increased net debt, the net debt to EBITDA ratios will change. We are working hard to increase our overall EBITDA and do better than what market expectations are. But as a company policy, we do not give projections into the future. And the numbers which the analysts are talking, anywhere between 3.5 to 4, looks the kind of numbers that we are likely to have in FY17.
So FY17, in that case, of course, the net debt to EBITDA will peak out. By when will it start bottoming down and coming back to the, the 2.5 to 1.5 levels?
So while these are financial numbers, I like to remind the viewers that this is a unique situation for telecom companies. While these numbers will reflect on our balance sheets, its impact on cash will be nil. Okay, the reason is as follows. That after having paid the upfront money, we have 2 years moratorium that would be available, and our payments are the first payment for both interest as well as installments, which is over a period of 10 years after 2-year moratorium starts in April 2018. So there would be no impact on the cash flows both in 2015-16 as well as 16-17.
Okay. Post that, there could be an impact going ahead.
So we would urge the market to start looking at not a net debt to EBITDA, but our cash flow situation, and cash EPS will remain strong.
So for the immediate quarters, there won't be any impact on, and the whole talk about possible negative cash flows, that is completely incorrect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So the big question that investors, analysts, consumers are asking is that given the exceedingly high price of spectrum, does it now make obvious sense to look at passing this on to customers? If yes, what is the kind of increase that would be necessary for individual telecom players? An idea, of course.
You're absolutely right. The cost to telecom companies, if we leave out the timing issues, is definitely going to go up. And we have to recover the cost. Would we recover the full cost or bear some of it is a matter of details, and it will unfold over the next few quarters. Our effort is that we want to sustain. In the last 3 to 4 years, we've been delivering over anywhere between 20 to 25% of revenue growth, anywhere between 25 to 35% of EBITDA growth. We want to sustain these levels of growth, and we also want to make sure that the fall in PAT is not too dramatic. So we will take all corrective actions. First and foremost, we will try to see if we can continue to sustain the growth momentum, both in volume of minutes as well as growth of mobile data. And whatever is not possible through those sources, we will like to balance it with an improvement in realization rates, not only in voice but also in mobile data.
Okay, so there could be a partial passing on to customers or partial tariff hike that would be necessary.
I think it's inevitable. Yes.
Analysts are working with 10 to 15% for individual customers. I mean, essentially your bill will go up by around 10 to 15% on a full year basis. Would you say that is correct?
I think it's premature to speculate and give you a specific number, but there is going to be a significant rate increase.
Largely in voice, I'm assuming?
It would be both.
Has to be in. It would be in voice and data.
That's right. We'd like to balance it so that the impact is not on one segment of the customers, but it is on both segments of customers. Okay.
Let me ask you about data in that case. So where are data prices now headed? If I see the last couple of quarters, Idea has seen a significant jump when it comes to data revenues. Now the question is that given the amount that you've already spent in renewal of spectrum, there could be a paucity, if at all, in terms of capital expenditure when it comes to data network expansion for the next couple of years. That is what analysts are working with. Going ahead, would you see some amount of pressure when it comes to data?
So I'm going to make 3 points. Number 1 point is our cash flows will remain strong, as I explained you, that we do not have to make installment payments till 2018, and that cash will be utilized to sustain the level of capital investments that we've followed in the last 2 to 3 years. When Idea acquired 3G spectrum, our capital investment jumped from an earlier level of 2,500 crores to a level of 3,500 to 4,000 crores. We are capable to sustain that and probably slightly up it because there is a lot of unfinished job on expansion of digital services. As you are aware, Ideas presently provides GSM 2G voice services over 350,000 villages, but our 3G services on our own spectrum just covers about 30,000 villages, and we would like to expand our 3G footprint. So there is an effort that we require to do, and over the years, as the ecosystem for 4G does settle down, we would also like to expand that. But we will do all of that as and when we are convinced that there is a sufficient ROI available and there is a sufficient returns that is available. And we are very confident that every investment that we are going to do will only going to add up to and improve our returns from the business.